Here now with more on his bid for Majority Leader, Florida Senator Rick Scott. I have nothing against the other candidates, but I do know this about you. You are a get-it-done, no-holds-barred businessman that fully supports the Trump agenda, and I know you would fight for that. And unfortunately, we have too many people that don't have the wherewithal that you do, and I'm not sure if the other candidates would be strong enough. I'm supporting you. You have a lot of other people supporting you. Tell us why you should get that job.
Well, first, thank you for your support. Look, I'm a business guy. Successful business guys get things done. I want the Donald Trump agenda implemented. I want his nominees confirmed as quickly as we can get those nominees confirmed so we can get to work. He's got great nominees. I hope it's true about Marco Rubio, my friend, is going to be Secretary of State. I hope that's all true. We've got to get his agenda done. We're going to be able to do some things through reconciliation, everything we can do. We need to maximize everything we can do to help Donald Trump get his agenda done. We had a great Tuesday. We can all be way more excited. But if we don't have the right leader in the Senate, then what's going to happen is all the things that Donald Trump wants to do is going to get bogged down, not going to happen. Nominees won't get done. So I am absolutely committed to do whatever it takes to get his nominees confirmed and get his agenda passed.
Yeah, so that was Senator Rick Scott, who I think most conservatives and Republicans wanted, except for the ones in the Senate. But all hope is not lost, okay? I do want to say that, so stick around until the end. I have some fantastic news that you're not going to want to miss. But we got to get into the doom and gloom, okay? Obviously, I'm sure most of you have heard, Senator John Thune is now our Senate leader. And if you don't know who Thune is, he was, and I didn't know who he was for the longest time. Obviously, I was new to politics. I'm still new to politics, but he was always the really, really tall guy that like towered over Mitch McConnell, that was always standing behind Mitch McConnell. A lot of people call him a Mitch McConnell 2.0, but once again, I've got good news, so stick around. I'm just getting the doom and gloom out of the way up front, okay? For those of you that want to get a little more familiar with John Thune and some of the reasons why we didn't want him, I present to you Exhibit A. Check it out. Let's dive in.
Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. Would you support him?
Well, I'm hoping, Leanne, to have other options.
A verdict in the Trump trial could come next week if he's convicted. Could you support him still?
I'm not. We'll see how the trial comes out. I'm not weighing in on that.
I'm going to stop that music. Yeah, these are his words. What former President Trump did to undermine faith in our election system and disrupt the peaceful transfer of power is inexcusable. John Thune.
Republican warned on Monday that efforts to challenge the Electoral College vote in Congress next month would fall short in the Senate. Thune told reporters, quote, "I mean, in the Senate, it would go down like a shot dog. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to put everybody through this when you know what the ultimate outcome is going to be."
President-elect Trump involved in does he have a chosen preference in the Senate? Do you know?
Honestly, I think my preference would be, and I think it's probably in his best interest, to stay out of that. These Senate secret ballot elections are probably best left to senators.
Yeah. So that was Senator John Thune. You saw a little bit there. And that last clip was actually from a few days ago. He said that, Trump should stay out of it. And Trump did stay out of it. And I think that was only because Rick Scott did not have the votes yet. And he knew that. Obviously, Trump is tied into all of it. And he knew that. But if Rick Scott came close and all he needed was like a Trump endorsement to like push him over those extra few votes, then Trump would have, spoken out and endorsed Rick Scott. But here's Senator John Thune's scorecard. Yeah. So he's got about an average Senate scorecard. Average, literally average. 62, okay? % lifetime score. All right. And this is Rick Scott's. Yeah. That is exactly why we wanted Rick Scott. You look at John Thune and you look at Rick Scott. It's not even close. They aren't even in the same ballpark. Okay. But like I said, all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. I want to play this clip of what Senator Thune said, and then we will get into some more of the good news that I have. All right. So this is John Thune immediately after he was nominated as Senate leader. Check it out.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. It's a new day in the United States Senate, and it's a new day in America. The American people have loudly rejected the failed policies of the Biden, Harris, Schumer agenda. And this Republican team is united. We are on one team. We are excited to reclaim the majority and to get to work with our colleagues in the House to enact President Trump's agenda. We have a mandate from the American people, a mandate not only to clean up the mess left by the Biden-Harris-Schumer agenda, but also to deliver on President Trump's priorities. We will make sure that the President and his team have the tools and the support that they need to enforce border security laws and to remove the violent criminals who are wreaking havoc in every one of our states. We will work to make America prosperous again by streamlining the bureaucratic machine and overturning costly Biden-Harris regulations. And we will work to restore American energy dominance. Not just our energy security, but energy dominance, which will lower costs and bolster our national security. I'm excited to get to work with this team right away. And I want to thank my colleagues who placed their faith in me to serve as leader, and to those who were supporting another candidate. I promise to be a leader who serves the entire Republican conference. We'll have an ambitious agenda, and we'll take each and every Republican working together to be successful. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so that was his statement immediately following, him winning. I'm extremely honored to have earned the support of my colleagues to lead the Senate in the 119th Congress. I am beyond proud of the work we have done to secure our majority in the White House. This Republican team is united behind President Trump's agenda, and our work starts today. John Thune. South Dakota, I got some questions for y'all. Got a lot of questions. But anyway, you know what? I want to play this clip from Charlie Kirk because I actually agree with what he says. And please hear him out, because I agree with a lot of what he's saying, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on this because I know a lot of people are angry. I know. I'm angry myself. And if you follow me on X, you probably know that. Okay. And if you don't follow me on X, definitely follow me on X. The link is down below in the description box, or you can follow me at The Real Doc Rich. Okay. The Real Doc Rich on X. Definitely follow me. All right. But here's the clip from Charlie Kirk. And like I said, I agree with a lot of what he is saying here in this clip. Check it out.
Now, look, I'm not going to spend our time attacking John Thune. He's in charge. What I will say is
I agree.
John Thune has a short window to show us who he is, to show us what he's made of. I'm willing to say, okay, fine. Everyone says that you're a rhino. Everyone says that you're a gutless wonder. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You have a short window to show us that you will support President Trump, fill his cabinet, confirm his judges, pass his agenda, do recess appointments, keep the Senate operational for 24 hours. If Chuck Grassley has to go take a nap, that's fine. We're not going to put up with this. Senate goes into the Senate goes into nap time for a couple days. Look, our movement is ascendant, and they know this. This is a very, very tight Senate majority election. Very, very tight. Our movement is growing. It is powerful. But allow me to emphasize one of the most disturbing elements of this Senate leadership election. We don't know how people voted. Of all the votes that they take, this is one of the most important votes that
I have the list, and I'll talk about it after Charlie Kirk is done.
They take. Since Republicans vote with the party 98% of the time, what matters is who are they actually putting in charge of the United States Senate? And the majority leader decides that. But their votes are private. We don't actually know who voted for John Thune. We can guess, we can piece it together. We know some of his allies. I like Mark Wayne Mullen. I think he's a good man from Oklahoma. We've gotten to know each other. Don't agree on a lot of stuff, but he's willing to dialogue. He's behind John Thune. Okay. I know some people are behind John Cornyn. But why the secret ballot? And it's very clear. They do a secret ballot because they're terrified of you. John Thune is now Senate Majority Leader. If he does not support President Trump in these next 30 to 45 days to fill President Trump's cabinet, we will remove him.
I agree, 1,000%. And like I said, I have the list. I'm not going to release it. And here's why. Because I know some of you are like, Rich, don't betray us. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. Okay? So this is the thing. I agree with Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to sit here and bash John Thune. There's honestly no benefit to doing that at this point in time. I might have tweeted something out that was against John Thune in the moment. But after, clearing my head, there's no benefit to doing that. He's in charge. He can stifle Trump's movement if he wants to. Now, we do have maybe a way to get around that, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But it doesn't make sense to make enemies. And you saw that with President Trump. When Rick Scott didn't have the votes, Trump didn't say anything. Trump could have easily come out and said, hey, I endorse Rick Scott. But you know what would have happened? He would have created a lot of enemies in the Senate. He's going to need that Senate. That was a smart move. You have to be strategic. You can't use your emotions. You can't let your emotions guide your life. You can't let your emotions determine what you are going to do or what you aren't going to do. Okay? You have to be smart. You got to be strategic. And you saw that with our leader, President Trump, when he didn't endorse Rick Scott. He could have easily done that. But he knew, I'm gonna create some divisions here. I'm gonna create some rifts. I don't like what John Thune said, telling me to stay out of it, but I'm not gonna let my emotions run me. Because the old Trump would have said, F you, John Thune. I'm endorsing Rick Scott. The old Trump would have just said that. F you. What do you mean I need to stay out of it? You know what? I'm endorsing Rick Scott. The old Trump would have said that. The new Trump, like I said, this is Trump 2.0. He's smarter than that. He knows I need the House and I need the Senate and I need them to be united behind me. It's not smart to make enemies. We got a lot of stuff to do. I got a lot of people to appoint. We don't need to do that right now. Now, Charlie Kirk said it best. John Thune has got about 2 months. He's got 2 months to show us who he is. After that, if you don't do what you said you were going to do, which is push through Trump's agenda, which those words came out of John Thune's mouth, hear me very clearly. To any senator, to any congressman or woman who gets in the way of Trump's agenda, we have shown you independent media is where the power truly lies. We have shown you that no matter how much money you spend, Kamala Harris, who spent over $1 billion and is now $20 million in debt and lost in a blowout, we have shown you that your money means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. We have the power. Yeah, I'm gloating a little bit here. We have the power. So y'all can play games if you want to, but you're going to fuck around and find out. And I'm not threatening anybody physically. I don't wish physical harm to any senator or any congressman or woman whatsoever. That's not what I'm saying. I wish peace upon every single one of them. I don't want any one of them physically harmed. Make no mistake about it. I don't want anybody to twist my words. But I am threatening your reelection. You will not be reelected. You saw what we did to Liz Cheney. Yeah, we got her up out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. She ran to the Democrats. She was out there campaigning for Kamala. Still lost in a landslide. So play if you want to. Don't make us flex our muscles, because we will. Let that be a warning to anybody on the Republican side who wants to get in the way of Trump's agenda. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. All right? Now, and there's other folks that agree with me. I even posted a guy like Tim Pool. Check it out. Any Republican who obstructs or blocks Matt Gaetz' confirmation will receive the full political force I can muster up to make sure you lose your next primary. And he's not the only one that feels that way. There's a lot of us who can flex our muscles, so to speak, right? And make sure that these people are not reelected. I have the list. Okay. Once again, I'm not going to release it. But I am watching every single one of these senators and these congressmen and women very, very closely, because the moment they step out of line, I'm going to start flexing. I'm going to start flexing. And so are some of these other independent content creators. We are all going to start flexing. And every single one of them is going to end up like Liz Cheney. Out, gone, cast out by a landslide. It's not even going to be close. Like I said earlier, we've shown them that their money means absolutely nothing. They could spend all the dollars they want to. Waste it. Doesn't matter. Mainstream media, you can run to them all you want to. Doesn't matter. We've shown you they don't have the power anymore. Ben Carson even talked about that before the election. This election was going to determine whether or not mainstream media still had the power that it once had, and we proved that they don't. We do now. Don't make us use that power, John Thune, or any other senator or congressman or woman who wants to stand in the way. We sent you a mandate. We wanted Trump to lead. Allow him to lead. Follow behind. Now, I want to play this other clip because here is one of the ways that we can get around any shenanigans. Check it out.
If you have a Thune and he begins to become an obstructionist, does the president have the ability to say, J.D. Vance, go in there and take control of the Senate and do
Absolutely.
what John Adams did?
Absolutely. So you've talked about this. You've been great about it. There is a little known procedure in the Senate that gives the majority leader the right to be recognized on the floor first. Who decides to recognize them? The person sitting in the chair at the front of the room. That chair belongs to J.D. Vance. Anybody else sitting in that chair is borrowing his seat. He can walk in the room, kick them out, take the seat, and recognize whoever he wants who is going to move his President Trump's nominees. So he can actually decide really who's running the show.
Why haven't they done that in the past?
There was talk in the last Trump administration of doing this. I ultimately don't know why they decided not to. There's always a negotiation about these kind of things. Having the threat of doing that is certainly powerful, and maybe Pence just wasn't comfortable with it. JD would probably be a lot more comfortable with that.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a senator.
Yeah. So there's another way that we can get around any shenanigans that, we need to very, very quickly. I also want to give a shout out to Senator Tuberville, I just want to play this clip because I'm not really super familiar with Tuberville, but he's been on the radar a little bit lately, and he's been saying all the right things. I like him. And he also, I'll give you this, okay? I don't want to release the whole list, not yet, not until these senators or congressmen or women start to step out of line. But Tuberville is one of the people who voted for Rick Scott. So he was one of the people that actually listened to the American public. Check it out.
Senator Thune really pushed hard for Trump's agenda?
He has no choice. There was a mandate last week, Liz, that said, hey, we want President Trump to have his team. We want to take back our country. Republicans, if you're not on the team, get out of the way. John Thune will be on the team. He'll work with President Trump. I voted for Rick Scott because I thought he could communicate better with President Trump because they were both in the business world. But John Thune got the nod. Let's go. We're not going to have a lot of time to waste. I think he'll do a good job. But, again, President Trump and J.D. Vance are going to be running the Senate.
Yeah, and he also mentioned that Trump and J.D. Vance are going to be truly the ones running the Senate. But he also said that John Thune is going to be with the program. So we shall see. And he also confirmed that he voted for Rick Scott, which, like I said, I do have the list of the people that voted for Rick Scott and who didn't. So, like I said, these people step out of line. I will be releasing it. And once again, I want to make this very, very clear. This is not a threat to anybody physically. I don't wish harm physically to any one of these people, okay? I don't want anybody twisting my words, but their reelection, oh yeah, it's down the tubes if they get in the way. Their reelection is cooked. They're going to end up like Liz Cheney, losing in a blowout. I don't care how much money they spend. They could spend $1 billion like Kamala did. They're still going to lose their reelection. I guarantee it. Because I'm not the only one. There's more of us that feel this exact same way. And I showed you guys one of the people, Tim Pool. So, yeah, tread lightly. Peace and love, family. I'm out.